Okay, let's start with a really dumb question. Why Manderlay? Is it meant to remind me of Rebecca, or is it just, does it sound like a good name for a mansion?
No, it's. I don't know if it's meant to remind you of Rebecca. It reminds me of Rebecca. Yes, very much so.
And which aspect of Rebecca, that you're in a place where things are not what they seem?
Look, it could be that, but it's more that I like the film. So, yeah, Manderlay. It's obvious. I don't think so much about it. I just, So of course it's part of my knowledge, if you want to call it that, or it's something that is on the hard disk, and I use it. I don't go in and analyze it too much.
Okay.
But there's also a song by Kipling, this on the, is it called The Road to Manderlay, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm to make of that what I will.
Yes.
Okay.
But don't tell me about it.
Okay, but I won't.
No, please. We have tried to present this more as a comedy. To me, it's a comedy. It's lighter. Also, since the subject is much lighter, of course.
I was going to ask you about that. So we are allowed to laugh. There are certain things.
Oh yes, you should laugh. Yes, absolutely. I hope so. But I never know. You never know. With the Americans, you never know. Many things there were no idea behind, really.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing. For example,
only to kind of use, what shall we say, the conflicts and the characters to, use them as powers that are working against each other, and that is how you make, a fable or a story or some drama. And then, what shall we say, the forces or the elements of this is then issues that have a certain quality of that they are a bit dangerous subjects to kind of touch. But I come from, again, my beliefs and my family. They believe that anything should be discussed. And I think it's, especially if things are painful to discuss, it should be. And I think that's kind of modern psychology also, is if things are painful, they should come out, and it will kind of help to heal the wounds, right? And I'm sure there are big wounds in the race problems in America and the race problems anywhere, but for this, especially black and white confrontation in America or coexistence is a problematic thing, yes. I don't think people are that different, Characters, I'm sure, are the same, and people are the same all over. So I know some Danish people, even some black Danish people. And it's difficult for me to believe that blacks and whites should be so different in, character or psychology. I think actually it's proven that there's not a lot of difference. But men and female, that's a big difference. Danny took a long time to make his mind up whether to do the film or not. We had a long talk, and then he decided to do it, which I thought was very good. And it was really difficult to find somebody who wanted to do it, because, of course, this is a film where I don't think there are really any heroes in this film, or any people who are only good. Which, without having seen every film in the world, or every American film, then I think that we have come to a point where the best thing you could offer a black actor is a white role, right? That means a role where the color of his skin doesn't matter. And that's degrading in itself, you know. But the most parts that the black actors will get today are, you know, heroic parts, which must be terrible. I understand from history that first, you know, they weren't in films at all. The whites made up their faces and were black, if you wanted a black person. And then later on they were in the film, but they were crooks and, you know, bad guys. And now they are, you know, it's all these things point towards a big problem in society. Of course, it's a big scar, but the black parts in this are not only heroic. They are not heroic. They are no heroes, but they are human, I would say. So yeah, I think it would be good if we could come to that. That the best part they could get was a human part. In Denmark, we have this integration policy, which I don't believe in at all. You know, I believe that they should have taken the black people and given them Texas or something, right? No, but they actually talked about something like that when the slaves were given freedom, give them a state, right? Because I'm sure that, you know, things would have been completely different, because then they could be racist, you know, and then people could meet on equal terms. I actually, what I always respected America very much for is, you know, that they allow that there's a Chinatown and there's a, you know, in New York, where I haven't been either, but I've been to London. But all this integration thing that we do in the Scandinavian countries, I don't believe in at all, because it creates such a lot of problems. Because, you know, if you had your own society, right, and then you met, then I think that the transformation, of course, there will be a mixture, and there will be things will at a certain point, you know, what do you say, emerge, but it would come from a much more equal basis. No, I don't think that whites are more racist than anybody. No, I believe in this Jacob Hott's theory that of the internal racism, right? Like that there are, of course, from history, you know, we are racist, but also that the black population has this has, you know, maybe it's true, right? You know, that somewhere into the black psychology is, of course, all these years of slavery or whatever, and it influences, right? And this is the internal racism that is in black and in white. And this is not, it's nothing that's kind of, it's not that, I think we should just accept it, that it is there. And then if we can accept that, then it's easier to meet. Everybody in the film, when you hear them talking, you would agree to it more or less what they say. And Grace's father, of course, as always, he's irritating and right, of course, all the time. You have to agree. You have to agree with him. It's nice to have different points of views. I like actually propaganda film very much, Because it kind of it makes you think and a little bit, and then you get maybe you are convinced, or by the opinion of the film, or you react against it, which is most common, especially when it's propaganda film, because then you feel in what direction the guy who made the films wants you to what he wants you to feel and how he wants you to react. And that's why my films are so complicated. So you're not really sure.
So
I'm cheating you into seeing the film, so you're not really sure. He wants to do this and this and this. But of course, when it ends with a lot of American photos of the darker side, maybe, of America,
then, in case I didn't get it, you rubbed my nose in it.
Yeah, well, the first, maybe, that's propaganda. Yeah, sure. The end of the film is pure propaganda. But then again, it's not manipulated in the way that the pictures are not real. They are real. They are part of a reality. But of course, since they're all pointing in the same direction, and in that way it's propaganda and manipulation. Yeah, it's springtime for Bush and America. No, that was just because I saw Mel Brooks the other day. Yeah, of course, there's a parallel to this to the Iraq War, and there's a very clear parallel because she wants to make democracy in Manderlay, and I'm sure the Americans wants to, bring their kind of democracy to the world. I was always taught by my father that mission in the religious sense, that you're a missionary, that was the lowest you could get, because people should be allowed to believe in what they wanted. That was the most important thing. And if they should change, they should change. Nobody should change them. They should be they should see that others, blah, 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 find out that their values were better or whatever. But mission, that means going somewhere and making people, have another religion or force it upon them. That is close to, this idea of bringing the American values to the world, which Bush talks about very openly. That is very bad morale. I think freeing a lot of people who wants to be free is beautiful, but kind of if it's to export your way of thinking because their way of thinking is not right, that is very bad, I think. Oh, that's what my father taught me anyway. I think that, all teaching is actually wrong. That's a long story. I know we have to learn to read and write in order to communicate, be able to communicate, but which is very practical. But then again, as soon as somebody is standing up and saying, I will teach you this and this, that means that he knows better. Right, and I think that's always discussable, who knows better, especially when it comes to philosophy and politics and whatever, and religion, very much so. I'm not a sucker for religion, but I think that people should be allowed to believe in what they will. Of course, if they come to this country, they should, of course, obey the laws of this country and not kind of kill the Protestants, for instance, even though the Protestants might be a good place to start. I don't know, but you know what I mean. They should, of course, follow the laws in the country, but they should absolutely. It's I'm sure it's the same in America, that people can believe in what they choose to. That you can't make them believe something. We don't really know what is best, right? Maybe it's not democracy. We don't know. What about in 1,000 years? Maybe it's something completely different. I'm sure that most dictators have been very sure that they were doing the right thing for the people. I don't really believe in this evil dictator that only kind of, I'm sure they turn out evil and they do evil things, I'm sure, but I don't think that they are, as a basis they are evil. I'm sure they believe in what they're doing, and they believe that, Stalin called himself Little Father, right? So it's Little Father who's kind of just doing the best for. And for some people it was very good to go to Siberia or get a bullet in the back of the head, right? It seems. But I don't think it was out of evil. I don't think so. But this comes from some science that was made on people in concentration camps. I made some science, in the different how different personalities survive in a concentration camp, which I thought was very interesting. That there are different ways you could survive it, and there were also theories from the other side of how to control people, and that is that you should go into cooperation with the intellectual. That was what they did in the concentration camps. They would always there would be kind of a spiritual leader. And whenever you found one of these, then you had won, because then you would take him in and he would start to negotiate. And then they had, full power, because then they would say, should we kill these 4 children or, these 2 men? And he would end up by saying, kill the 2 men. And as soon as you start that kind of conversation, then, it was, but they always tried to go after this, the intellectual or spiritual leader of the people. And then they were fucked. They were fucked anyway, so who cares? But that was kind of psychology. The spiritual leaders are, and especially intellectuals, are dangerous.
Because you can appeal to their vanity.
No, but also that they mean so well, and it's very difficult when it's kind of life and death to be intellectual, And it's maybe better to be a simple person, has a simple view of things. Say, if you should kill 4 children or 2 males, I cannot say. Do what you like.
Is it better to starve in a democracy than to eat well under a tyrant?
Why is this for me?
Have you not raised this issue in your film?
Yeah, but I can't give an answer to it. It depends on, how hungry you are and who you are. What matters the most?
So for you, liberty, freedom in of itself is not necessarily a good in all cases.
No, but liberty and freedom is, as it's also discussed a little bit in the film, is always limited. Even in a democracy, as long as you are 2 people on an island, right? Then you have limited liberty, of course. But you can make some rules that can make you coexist in a way that where you feel free, but you are not free, right?
So you're not free? You, Lars von Trier, you don't feel free?
No, I don't feel free, but that's because of a lot of things that are not very free inside my very sick head.
You're your own tyrant.
Oh yes. I'm living under a dictatorship of Little Father. No, but freedom is, what is it? Isn't it that freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose? That's
So you think freedom's overrated?
I don't. No, but the minute you don't have it, then you long for it very much. I know that, and it's. I'm sure it's for some people has been wonderful not to be free, so they could fight to be free. That's a very good thing to make you sleep easier, right? Nights, because today I've been fighting for freedom, and the next generation will thank me, and blah 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 blah. And then you fall asleep very easily. No, but I think as a basis you just have to be kind of good to each other, right? And that's of course not especially free, but that is a good rule to live by, to try to be good to each other. And the stronger you are, the more merciful you should be. That's another rule, I think. Why do I make films? I can only answer like Carl Dreyer, because it's my only true passion, he said. Well, it is a passion, and it's something it's nice, it's fulfilling to do it, and I am doing films that are more, what shall we say, that wants to raise some questions, not just about film, but also about humans, politics, psychology, whatever. So in that sense, I'm older now. I'm old.
When you were young, did you want to make films that were entertaining?
No, I never. Oh shit! No. Yeah, maybe I wanted to, but I don't think. No, I've never. No. But when I was younger, it was. The media was enough in itself, right? It was art for art's sake, right? Now it's a little different. Now you should actually be able to use the film for something.